Hi, third grade. Welcome back to Remote Learning Specials Library Edition. We're going to continue reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. After I am done reading this little bit, go over to the Padlet link and go ahead and write your response on the prompt question, or if you want to add or contribute something to an online discussion, that would be wonderful also. Don't forget to add your name to whatever you're posting so I can give you credit, because a lot of it is anonymous and I don't know who wrote it, so I don't know who to say, hey, good job to. So make sure you put your name down. The last time we started reading chapter 8, Two More Tickets Found. We read about Violet Beauregard and how she loves to chew gum. This time we're going to read about the fourth person who got a golden ticket. So, who got the fourth ticket, Daddy? Charlie had asked. Remember, they're all sitting on the bed and Dad is reading from the newspaper. Now let me see, said Mr. Bucket, peering at the newspaper again. Ah, yes, here we are. The fourth golden ticket, he read, was found by a boy called Mike TV. Another bad lot I bound, muttered Grandma Josephine. Shh, don't interrupt, Grandma, said Mrs. Bucket. The TV household, said Mr. Bucket, going on with his reading, was crammed like all others with excited visitors when our reporter arrived. But young Mike TV, the lucky winner, seemed extremely annoyed about the whole business. Can't you fools see I'm watching television? He said angrily. I wish you wouldn't interrupt. The 9-year-old boy was seated before an enormous television set with his eyes glued to the screen. And he was watching a film in which one bunch of gangsters was shooting up another bunch of gangsters with machine guns. Mike TV himself had no less than 18 toy pistols of various sizes hanging from belts around his body. And every now and again, he would leap up into the air and fire off a half a dozen rounds from one or another of these silly weapons. Quiet, he shouted when someone tried to ask him a question. Didn't I tell you not to interrupt? This show is an absolute whiz-banger. It's terrific. I watch it every day. I watch all of them every day, even the crummy ones. Where there's no shooting, I like the gangster ones the best. Look, this is Charlie. Or not Charlie, I'm sorry. This is Mike TV. He's watching his show here, and he's got all of those toy weapons around him. He does not look happy, does he? They're terrific, those gangsters, especially when they start pumping each other full of lead or flashing the old stilettos or giving each other an old 1-2 with those knuckle dusters. Oh boy, wouldn't I give to be doing that myself? That's the life, I tell you, it's terrific. That's quite enough, snapped Grandma Josephine. I can't bear to listen to any more. Nor me, said Grandma Georgina. Do all children behave like this nowadays? Like these brats we've been hearing about? No, of course not, said Mr. Bucket, smiling at the old lady in the bed. Do some? Of course. In fact, quite a lot of them do, but not all. And now there's only one ticket left, said Grandpa George. Quite so, sniffed Grandma Georgina. Just as sure I'll be having cabbage soup for supper tomorrow, that ticket'll go to some nasty little beast who doesn't deserve it. So that's the end of this chapter. We're going to read chapter 9 next time, called Grandpa Joe Takes a Gamble. So don't forget to go to Padlet, answer the question, send some responses. You can do video, you can do audio, you can just type it in, whatever you want to do, guys. Keep it fun, keep it fresh. Miss you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.